Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. Drew Brees may have retired, but he can still be a starting motivational speaker. Perna.
And you never know when those defining moments will happen. So I would say, why not today? And you don't know what play it's going to be, or what moment, or what circumstance throughout the course of that game.
Today could be my defining moment here on YouTube Football News. I don't know what dick joke, what NFL story, what play on words it will be, but I will come prepared.
I'm trying to attack you guys at all times.
That's a little aggressive, Drew.
Balls don't touch the ground.
And if they do, you should see a doctor. Told you there'd be a genital joke, and it took me less than 2 minutes to complete. That's what she said.
You control the game! All times!
Look, I don't even control my own household, Drew.
With energy, emotion, and excitement.
Yes, the triple E's.
Energy, emotion, and excitement.
Energy, emotion, excitement. Energy, emotion, excitement. Energy, emotion, excitement. It's what I bring to this day one of 2021 free agency. Who made the biggest splash during the tampering period? The Patriots? Okay, well, I guess I'll just be bringing none of the E's to this episode.
Balls don't touch the ground.
So what was the single best move from day one? Well, you'll have to wait till the end to find out, 'cause it's a cliffhanger. Please subscribe here, and don't forget Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, I'll be going live here on this channel with 5 Points Vids, Tom Grossi, Urinating Tree, and now Scooter Magruder. It's a super stream every Thursday for the next month or so of all of us football sports YouTubers, so check it out live. Today's episode sponsored by Manscaped.com/goodsports. Manscaped has been sponsoring this show for over 2 years now, which means my pubics have been on point for that long. My favorite product Manscaped offers is the Performance Package Kit because it comes with everything you need to groom, which I now do simultaneously. The new Lawnmower 3.0 is the waterproof below the beer gut trimmer with skin-safe technology to mow down those pubes in the package, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, and the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer so you can clearly smell what you're hearing. And if you use my link below and the code GOODSPORTS right now, you'll get a free travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs, which I'm wearing right now. I never chafed during free agency. Plus, you get 20% off and free international shipping from the company that's been supporting this show longer than anyone. Every year I forget how maddening trying to make videos about free agency is. I won't get everything in this one, but I'll be back tomorrow if I don't cover your guy you wanted to see me talk about. Don't worry, I'll get to him. Now, the New England Patriots quietly moved their way into first place in terms of having the most cap space for this round of free agency. The Saints wheeled and dealed and restructured every person on their roster, including the grounds crew. The Saints were in the stickiest situation we've seen since Robert Kraft walked into that massage parlor in Florida. Like Kraft, the Saints are seeking a full release to ease their troubles, and the Rams basically took the Saints' spot in the hottest parts of cap hell, now at $32 million over, doing nothing to rework their cap since trading for Matthew Stafford. I'll break down each signing today with some meaningless awards. The first being Save Some for the Rest of Us award. The New England Patriots signed tight end Jonnu Smith on a 4-year agreement. That is $31 million guaranteed and $50 total as he prepares to go from Ryan Tannehill to probably Cam Newton. The crazy part, Smith becomes the highest paid ball catcher for a Belichick coached team with a $12.5 million average. The second biggest payday the Patriots have ever handed out in free agency, next to Stephon Gilmore, who they're currently trying to trade. Now the verdict on this signing, boring. Why couldn't a team like Buffalo sign Jonnu Smith and complete their offense? Have fun blocking on 15 Cam Newton rushing touchdowns this season, Jonnu. This does give the Patriots a much needed upgrade at the tight end position, as Ryan Izzo only had 13 receptions and 199 yards last year and was their leading tight end. Their two rookies, Devin Asiasi and Dalton Keene, combined for 5 receptions. Cam Newton, with his 2 receptions and a touchdown, tied Asiasi for production in terms of catching balls. Now, Jonnu Smith had 8 red zone touchdowns last season, which was one more than the Patriots had as a team. Now, some are criticizing this move because of Smith's guaranteed money, which is just north of $31 million, which is more than George Kittle and Travis Kelce in guarantees. The Patriots aren't paying a lot of money for a quarterback right now, so they can overspend a little bit at some positions of need. Remember, the Chiefs, after letting 3 starting linemen walk, had to restructure Mahomes, Kelce, and Chris Jones, all of their contracts, all within a year of those guys signing their extension. Now, Jonnu Smith is not as good as those tight ends I just mentioned, but that's not how NFL contracts work. It's all about when you hit the market, and Smith, next to Hunter Henry, is the best available tight end right now, and that's why he got paid like a top guy at his position. Now, the Patriots weren't done with just Jonnu Smith. They also signed defensive tackle Devon Godchow and Matthew Judon. Yep, the Patriots got Matthew Judon on a 4-year, $56 million deal, and then they signed Jalen Mills for 4 years, $24 million. Then they signed wide receiver Nelson Agholor to a 2-year deal, formerly with the Raiders, and they did that after I shot this episode. So some of their number totals might be a little different than I initially said, but fuck it, I'm not going back to redo math, because redoing math is for accountants. And the Patriots must have a damn fine one, because then they went on to sign Kendrick Bourne after I was done with this stupid video. So they are stocking up on weapons, finally. And maybe a Patriots Buccaneers hate bowl? I could maybe watch that. The $146 million they spent in 3 hours, almost half of what they spent the last 10 years. It's crazy. I just don't remember where we have ever seen the Patriots aggressively pursue more than one guy in free agency.
Energy, emotion, and excitement.
And you can tell Bill Belichick was clearly spooked by his first losing season since 2000. Plus a little Tom Brady envy, and all of a sudden the Patriots have gone from total isolationists to rapid spenders, totally handing out contracts to just about anyone who will come to Foxborough. And I would like to say Bill Belichick, flush with cash, is like a kid in a candy shop. But that visualization has way too much joy attached to it to be associated with Belichick. Now, they call free agency the hot stove in baseball. But I think that literally applies to Jonnu Smith, whose girlfriend poured boiling water on him back in college. That's not relevant, but shocking enough I had to mention it here. And then use it as a segue. A team close to the hot stove is the Packers. I'm not sure how this 4-year extension for Aaron Jones will pan out. Either Green Bay gets burned by the hot stove or they cook with it. This was a bit of a surprise move to me, mostly because this is the kind of signing that won't piss Aaron Rodgers off. It's 4 years, $38 million with a $13 million signing bonus, making Jones the highest paid running back in NFL history, who just fumbled in a championship game. So my question is that a choke chain, Aaron? I don't know why I'm doing this to the Packers. I love them, and I really like the way Aaron Jones runs the ball. This was a fairly team-friendly deal, but it's always a dicey proposition giving a running back a second contract, especially when you just spent a second-round pick on another running back a year ago. A.J. Dillon, you son of a bitch, who averaged 5.3 yards per carry last season. The Packers' running game as a whole averaged 4.8 yards per carry last season, 7th in the NFL. That basically tells me the scheme and offensive line, and get this, the passing threat of Aaron Rodgers is more important to the running game than any one running back. And again, I say that as someone who thinks Aaron Jones is very, very good. Jones is coming back because of his ability to catch balls out of the backfield. Jamal Williams could have taken over that role, as that's something he does well and would have been cheaper than Jones, but Williams will now hit free agency. And that's why this deal, to me, will teeter delicately between good and bad. Next, we have the This might as well be Monopoly Money Award, which goes to Taysom Hill, who signed the least real $140 million contract extension in not just sports history, but human history. Voidable years is the new favorite phrase for fake quarterback extensions. Big Ben has them, Brady has them, but Taysom Hill is the only quarterback who won't be retiring that has them as part of his deal. It saves the team cap space this year, but voidable years for Hill just means the only way you get this money is if you stop playing quarterback like Taysom Hill and more like a quarterback.
Energy, emotion, and excitement.
Hill was like, I just thought you guys were finally paying me for playing every fucking position on the team. No, Taysom. No. Then we've got the no one will ever believe this man can stay healthy award going to the 49ers for signing Jason Verrett to a 1-year deal. I'm kind of shocked that he declined a multi-year deal. He said he's betting on himself, and I love that, but Jason, your injury history is fucking terrifying. Not terrifying? Bringing the fullback, fully back award going to the Niners as well as Kyle Juszczyk stays in San Francisco. The Niners give him a 5-year, $27 million contract. Yes, that is a lot for a fullback, but he put up 6 touchdowns last season and does quite a bit in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Juszczyk has 1,849 receiving yards as a fullback, which is actually quite a bit more than Aaron Jones, given it's been done in about double the seasons. Running back Ronald Jones had 3 less receiving touchdowns than Kyle Juszczyk. Juszczyk also outperformed Melvin Gordon in the passing game, so think of Kyle Juszczyk as the only NFL fullback / receiver. That's what he got paid for. And then we've got the last time I checked he doesn't play tackle award, which goes to the Chiefs, who decided to finally bolster their offensive line and signed guard Joe Thuney to a 5-year, $80 million deal. Here's the problem, they still don't have a left or right tackle. Thuney is a fantastic guard, but he's a guard, and that doesn't fix the fact that they just cut both Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz last week, or that center Austin Reeder is not expected to return. For a team that never runs the ball inside, it's nice to see they are stacked there. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif opted out last season, but he might decide that fighting COVID is less stressful than being blamed for everything that goes wrong in Kansas City. Yes, Chiefs GM Brett Veach is a wizard, and is probably why he asked Joe Thuney to restructure his contract before the ink even dried on the first one. Joe Thuney, the first player to sign a new contract and a restructure of his contract on the same day. Then we've got the Zeitler I Hardly Knew Her award. Guard Kevin Zeitler signed a 3-year deal with the Ravens after the Giants released the veteran guard. He's played for the Bengals, the Browns, and the Giants through his first 9 seasons in the league. Zeitler is an exceptional pass-blocking guard, which might signal that the Ravens are making a hard push to become more balanced, so maybe this signing will pair nicely with the new wide receiver. Kenny Golladay is still out there, unless he's not by the time I get this video uploaded, and there have been talks about a potential DJ Chark trade. DJ Chark trade. I do hope Kevin Zeitler spends at least 1 season with the Steelers though, so he can have played for every NFC North team, finishing what James Harrison started. And the best hometown signing goes to my Denver Broncos for locking down the big man, Shelby I slap out the balls Harris, the best pass blocker in the league. Well, he's best at blocking down passes. But getting Shelby back in Denver for 3 more years, smart move for a really underrated defensive lineman. And here we are, the best signing of the day. That award goes to the Buccaneers for Sahq Barrett. 4 years, $72 million, and his cap hit in 2021 is just $5.6 mil. I love Sahq Barrett, and I'm happy he's getting $36 million fully guaranteed, and a chance to get his 3rd Super Bowl ring. This deal was agreed upon about 30 minutes into the tampering period, meaning the Buccaneers won free agency after about 30 minutes. Basically the same way they had the Super Bowl wrapped up in about 30 minutes. Sahq Barrett, Levante David, Tom Brady, and Chris Godwin all going back to the Bucs. That's essentially 4 of their 5 most important players on the roster. Plus, it's expected that Ndamukong Suh and Rob Gronkowski will both likely return. And the Buccaneers go 5 for 5 on their big guys bringing back Gronk. on a 1-year, $10 million deal. And that's it for free agency, but the slowest to retire award goes to Drew Brees. Brees leaves the NFL with the most 3, 4, and 5+ touchdown passing games and the most 300 and 400-yard passing games as well. And he's the only quarterback in NFL history with multiple 5,000-yard passing seasons. Usually players retire well before free agency begins in order to give their team time to figure out a plan to replace them. Brees waited so long, Sean Payton may actually believe the Taysom Hill-Jameis Winston hybrid is the future of quarterbacking
Energy, emotion, and excitement.
in the league. Tom Brady has poisoned us all by winning the Super Bowl past the age of 40. It used to be that a quarterback would hit their peak in their early 30s and then play into their late 30s, using their craftiness and football IQ to make up for their declining athleticism. Tom Brady never had any athleticism to begin with. So now he's winning because he's been playing in a 40-year-old man's body since he was 24 years old. So, congrats on your retirement, Drew Brees. That's what I'm trying to say. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports Free Agency Podcast Part 1. There'll be more free agency news. I will cover as much as I can. So, come back tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day.